I've been wanting to do a little tour around the homestead for quite a while. Quite often do one in November or December. But it's such a wet couple of months. It's quite chilly today. It actually feels like it's drying up a little bit, which will be amazing if it does. I'm quite glad that I put these slabs on the run over to the workshop, because it has been just horrible, really. Spent a lot of time in the workshop. It's been really good for me. It's been really busy. So thanks to everyone who's supported my business and bought my products. Absolutely means the world to me. It means I can work from home and gear it around the children and all the problems that they bring. It's been absolutely great. But I thought we'd do a little walk around the homestead today and kind of see what the state of play is, really. Stuff I haven't done. There's plenty of that. Need to get on pruning some apple trees. That's one of my big jobs. The garden's not looking great. I didn't put much winter stuff in. Like I said, I took a bit of a step back from the garden in 2023 with everything that kind of happened. I did get some garlic in the other day. It's all coming up quite nicely now. So I've got 2 beds of garlic in. One bed's coming up much better than the other, actually. And I've still got some elephant garlic to go in. Got some purple sprout in here. I should probably put some nets back over there, or something will be eating them, pigeons. And down here I have got some sprouts, but they haven't done that well. Quite little sprouts. You see them here. My trouble is with winter brassicas, this garden is so wet for so long. It's basically December and January. Doesn't get much sunlight at all. Doesn't go much above. Sorry, spin you around. Much above those trees there. So if it gets cold and if it gets damp and if it gets wet like this, it's really bad. We did drain this whole field when a few years after we moved here. It hasn't made that much odds, to be honest, or if it has, it would have been really wet. So that's a bit of a downside with those, and there is a bit of kale as well, but not looking very great. One thing I have got in the garden though is I've got my next project for over there. I've got a lot of trees, so I've got about 20 pear trees in that bundle there, healed in. That is to make a kind of cordon row in the orchard of pear trees with some quite a couple where I've got a few varieties the same. So Invincible, I've got quite a few because apparently they flower twice, so I thought that'd be quite a good one. And then I've got some plum trees here to replace a couple of plum trees that have died. And I've also got 10 different gooseberries, about 2 of each. And I'm going to make a gooseberry hedge. So it should be quite exciting for me, because I'm into that kind of stuff. And I'm going to try and just create some more fruiting areas, really, and try and like fill any gaps we've got in our kind of what fruits and what doesn't. Fruit seems to be, to me, my best thing. So, you know, kind of double down on that a little bit. Veg obviously takes a lot of effort every year. There's fruit, you can kind of leave it and still get good harvest. So in the polytunnel, you can see I need to do some proper tidying up in here. But we have got my amaranth, which is held up and drying, and you can see the seeds coming out of that. And this is a leaf amaranth. I need to get some of that out before the seed swap at the start of next month. And I need to pull down these tomato vines and these cucumber vines. I've got lots of cucumber seeds drying in the workshop to give away with the stuff I sell and for the seed swap as well. But I like to get this cleared out. Ideally, what I'd really like to do is to build a chicken coop in this bit of dead space here. And then I can have it so that in the winter, the chickens could easily go into the polytunnel, but I can separate them off, and in the summer, they can easily go out into the orchard or into kind of like a netted pen as well, say there's an avian lockdown or whatever. Have it raised up and maybe have like a bit of a compost area underneath it. So quite a high chicken coop. It's my thinking, but I kind of percolate on these ideas for a little while. One thing I have got in here, which I've kind of saved from the outside, is my perennial kale. You can see it's actually got a bit of mould in there at the moment. Probably want to get in that with the shears and maybe propagate it a little bit. And they've got this nectarine tree, which actually kind of came back to life last year, so I'm going to start training that when it gets back into leaf. Ooh. And obviously got my saw benches and stuff kind of stored down there because it keeps them in the dry and haven't got much undercover space. I've got some big plans for the garden and veg grow next year. I'm going to save that for another video. This chicken pen's been empty pretty much all of last year. I had some bantams in there. Unfortunately, the fox got in and had them. But I'd like to get some chickens back in there next year. It's amazing the difference it made to just the control of the undergrowth in there. Having the chickens do the kind of job for me was great. This rose has grown so much in the year and a half it's been in, poking at the top now. I just can't wait to see how crazy it goes next year. So I'm going to make sure I mulch that really good. Got this apple tree the other side, which I'm training up. I think this arch is going to look incredible in a couple of years' time. I'm very tempted to get some more sweet chestnut, build an arch the other side, because what I want to do is replace that gate. I want to take that greenhouse down, put it back up with a proper base, and maybe build a shed, or I've got another greenhouse that I could put next to it. Kind of somewhere to operate and do stuff a bit better than I do already. But yeah, having another arch there might be quite cool. So I have an arch either side, kind of nice, pretty stuff glowing up. It's really good fun. Yeah, lots of plans. And you see this this coppice stool of hazel that I cut last year. It's come back really, really strong. Another couple of years, we're going to have some really good canes out of there. Now, normally by this time of the year, beginning of January, I've already started to tackle kind of winter tree pruning. I do some summer tree pruning, but I do some winter as well. I haven't touched these yet. It's just been so wet. So I'm really looking forward to getting in amongst these apple trees, especially this one. I love pruning this one. This seems to grow like absolute wildflower. So if I can get in this one, get all these trees pruned out, it's going to feel a lot better. It's always like a job that I like to have ticked off. I never want to miss pruning the apple trees. And then let's go down to the bottom field. I'm not sure how wet it is down there now. So this bottom field has been across this edge here, which runs alongside the road. It's been about a foot underwater for the last few weeks. The council, when they, in their wisdom, kind of cleared the ditches, they dug to the wrong culvert that goes under the road. So there's one that comes one way, one that comes the other, and they dug it all to the one that comes this way. So it has to fill up so much before it can get back across, which has been a bit of a pain. And every time they come to dig it, we try to tell them, and they don't listen. So, never mind. And this is that bit of hedge that I repaired last year. And I'm really pleased with how this is looking. Look how high, it's got some real vigour, some really real growth. In the gap where I planted some young trees as well, put some dams and some other bits and pieces that I dug up from around the place. They're coming on really strong as well. But yeah, it looks like a proper hedge. What I'd love to do this winter would be to start laying this. Now I have got jury duty coming up, and I've been kind of working like mad to try and make sure that I've got plenty of my stock built up to handle that. Whether I can get enough done to feel that I can tackle a bit of hedge laying. I'm not saying I'm going to do all this hedge, because I don't think I am. But I could potentially start here and kind of work my way up and see how far I can get. Even if I did 20 yards, I'd feel like I'd done something. And it's kind of probably better for the birds and the wildlife, gives them some different levels of things being done. And, in a few years, I could have this whole stretch of hedge laid, which would be quite nice. You could see, it's got some real big stumps of kind of hawthorn and stuff in there to kind of tackle. And look, I'm stood in a foot of water here. So, when I first came here, someone said to me, "Oh, you should rent this field out for horses." I don't think, unless they had goggles, swimming goggles, I don't think it'd be very good. Yeah, you can see how muddy and wet this is. This willow tree fell down. This is kind of like the kids' den area. They call this the playing tree, which I quite like. I want to cut it up. I am not allowed to cut it up, which is fine. It'll be my firewood one day, I'm sure, when they're big, and I'll be disappointed they're not playing with trees. This old oak seems to have more and more cracks appear on it every year. I should say, you can hear it. I should say she's hollow. She's so hollow. But look, isn't it beautiful? I mean, how old is that? I just love it. I absolutely love this tree. And up there, you can see, I don't think I can see, it's a bit of a face in it as well, which I kind of love. But yeah, look, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous tree. I hope it sees me out. My idea is one day to fence off this little strip between the trees and the hedge and put some pigs in here. Whether I get round to it's a different matter, but I think it would work quite well. Kind of nice shady area in the summer. You could just run them for a few weeks maybe, just separate it up. It doesn't get used for much else because all the fields have been used for. We did have a cut of hay off it, which I gave to a farmer, but he did it all, and I got some muck off in the process. And then we've had some friends sheep in at the start of the year and at the end of the year, and actually this depletion of the grass and the kind of the goodness here has been great. I mean, the wildflowers we've had have been unreal. The noise of, you know, all the grasshoppers and everything else has just been superb. Now, the coppice needs some work. The blackthorn has got out of control. As you can see, it's quite a thicket of blackthorn, but in amongst it are the trees I've planted. So we've got some hazel, which I would like to coppice this, a couple of clumps of this hazel this year. It's been in about 8 years. And then down here we've got some, I planted some kind of like forageable plants, kind of a foresty garden area. So this is barberry. All barberries are edible. Really kind of sharp fruit, used as more like a savoury berry. And I had some good apples off some of my apple trees down here as well, which was quite cool. For the first time, so I put in apple trees I grafted myself, and we got a decent little harvest. Now I have signed up to a beekeeping course this year, 2024. And my plan is that the bees will probably go over here. Depends on how much the farmer next door sprays. I do kind of like their sprays, but I think it'd be away from the house. Quite a convenient area to put it. And here we've got my willow coppice. This is 2-year growth. This is 1 year of that growth that needs spinning out. And then this is 7 or 8 year growth. This is one of my next jobs, is to coppice this. Maybe we'll get some binders for some hedge laying as well out of it. So that'd be quite cool. Leaving these to grow on, and pinch bits for scouts and stuff like that. My hedge is just looking amazing. This hedge has grown so well, honestly. I think I had one plant fail in about the 500 that I planted. The only downside is that everything's growing so well now, it's kind of catching up with my damsons. So I wonder if I will lay this before in the 9 or 10 years that I did the other one. But I mean, just look at it. Absolutely. The hawthorn there, not hawthorn, hornbeam there, coming in really thick. Lots of hawthorn, lots of blackthorn. It's just looking great, and the damsons have been really good. We had a few bits off them, a few damsons, a few plums off this little stretch here. So we're already starting to pay in. I lost a chicken the other day. I've just found out where it got eaten. It's a shame. I got these hybrid hens. They've laid really well for me. I've been letting them free range, but they don't seem to have their wits about them quite like my other chickens. And I just occasionally lose one. I don't know if it doesn't get back in time or what. I always go and look for it. I always do a count up, but never quite find where it is, unfortunately. Here you can see, so what I did when I put this hedge in is I tried to pick my blackberries. You're going to get blackberries and brambles in a hedge. And so I got some varieties that were from New Zealand, meant to be really big fruits, still thorned, because I find thornless have just got no vigour whatsoever. And the idea was that I kind of put them in, and I chose my blackberries that would inhabit this hedge and make it more forageable, just make it tastier. And so we'll see how that goes. I thought they were all dead, and they've come back quite strong where they've come back. So look at this one. I mean, I'm going to put the tips down in the hedge now as well, so it kind of layers itself, kind of propagates a bit more, is the plan. But yeah, I'm pleased with that. It's looking good. That hedge is like, and the other hedge, well, I'll show you the other hedge as well, but just like things like that just make me really happy. I do feel like sometimes I've made a mess, and I feel like doing stuff like that and the coppice and things is really giving back to the land. I feel like it's the right thing to do. Here you go, pop the fence here. This is into the pig pen. although we've not had pigs here yet, I've had pigs since I was a child, I'd like to put another fence across here, quite a wide one actually, give the trees a bit of protection in case when we put pigs in here. And up the top of the pen, I've got a mulberry tree that I put in, and that's grown alright. The other one died unfortunately, so I might replace that with a plum. Fence that off as a bit of a ring, or maybe just straight across. And then the hedge I laid, I swear, if you want a job for satisfaction, I'm no great hedge layer, I know that, but it just makes me happy to look at this hedge I've laid. I planted that and I laid it. It makes me so unbelievably happy that I did. It was a lot of work, but oh my god, so satisfying. Just lay a hedge. There should be some things you have to do in life. You know, climb a tree, lay a hedge. Could definitely be in there. But yeah, the pig pen. We've got the chickens in here at the moment, a few of them. I'd like to do some fancy stuff with the fencing in here. Have it so the house is kind of fenced off and you can kind of fold them one way or the other when we get them. We were going to get them last year. Things conspired against us somewhat. Got some chickens in that pen. My new pen I built has no birds in yet. But it's ready for spring. Ready for hatching out. I'm so looking forward to next season. It's going to be... I'm really going to go for it this time. Always do, but I'm hoping there's nothing that's good. There's going to be no stumbling blocks is what I'm hoping for. And the last thing is like the other half of the orchard. So we've done a full loop now. It's not a huge area. So we've got the chickens down in that polytunnel pen, and ideally I could do with getting a load of straw in. Me saying about no vigour in blackberries. This is a thornless one, but this has been here about 8 years. And it's only just started to crop quite well, but I could do with putting some posts in, kind of train it one way or another. This chicken pen kind of landed here. It was mobile pen, and it's kind of landed here when the avian flu hit one of the first times, and I've not really moved it since. Replaced the tarp on top. I could do with getting that one gone, because what I want to do is, this was a bit of a failed experiment in some respects. This is soft fruit intermixed with Siberian pea trees, so trying to have a nitrogen fixer give to the kind of fruiting plants, and also have some forage for the chickens, because the Siberian pea trees drop their little peas. But the Siberian pea trees haven't done very well here, and I've put a new soft fruit area up there. And so the idea is that down here, what I want to do is put in my pear trees. And it gives me kind of, I always think if you've got a good apple year, tend to have a bad pear year. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's kind of in my head how I think it. So having 20 pear trees, even close spaced, should be really beneficial to us. All different varieties, and we can see what does really well here then. And then along here, we've got some cherry trees. And obviously the birds do better than I do out these cherry trees. But what I'd really like to do with these cherry trees is behind it, we've got this kind of metre space to the fence, which I kind of left to kind of mow. It's not quite wide enough for anything I mow with. And what I'd like to do is either put some plastic or some cardboard down, and then my gooseberries are going to go in here, and we're going to make ourselves a gooseberry hedge. And whether I try and lay it, I don't know, but I've got 10 different varieties, some really old varieties of gooseberry, some really new ones, and we can see which ones do really well, which ones are tastier, if there's much difference. Gooseberries are one of my favourite fruits, and they're just so underrated. So I just want to grow as many as I can. Now I've got my gooseberry scoop, I just think that they're a great one to have. So yeah, lots of plans. There's not much going on, but under the surface, there's lots of plans bubbling away. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.